rest, and tap into our innate healing power and intuition. Everyone has this capability to heal in ways we never thought possible. It's your sovereign right to claim and have true health and lasting wellness. Now, here is the host of the Dr. Dolores Show, Dr. Dolores Fazzino, nurse practitioner, medical intuitive, and energy whisperer.
Well, good morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever you are in our amazing universe, and welcome to another episode of the Dr. Dolores Show on Inspired Choices Network. And I'm Dr. Dolores Fazzino, nurse practitioner, medical intuitive, and energy whisperer. And we're going to be talking about mind over matter, manifesting, and manifesting magic. I feel that a lot is going on in our world right now, and it's been incredibly challenging for many of us, especially when it comes to trying to create and trying to manifest. And what I'm finding personally, and I know other people that I've talked to one-on-one, is that they feel like they're in a holding pattern and they're really not sure why. And, you could look at things from an astrological standpoint and, there's a lot of craziness going on there as well. We just came out of a Mercury retrograde, which always seems to slow things down to a scratching and screeching halt, especially many of us who are go-getters and wanting to create some things so we can move forward. When we have like these little retrograde periods, especially with Mercury, it's like a great time to just lay back, rest, reset, anything with RE in front of it, like rethink, remodel, reconstruct. Anything that is already in our world, it's about reviewing, RE once again, and rest, REST. It's about really not taking on anything new, but just reflecting and just looking at where our life is and gaining wisdom, but also researching, RE, search, anything with RE in front of it. This is a very fertile time for us to review what's kind of been going on in our lives and maybe where we've been creating from. So also it's a great time to purge your closets out, because for those of you that aren't aware of this, if you live in a dwelling, your dwelling is very similar to what's kind of going on in your physical body, believe it or not. Your closets are what we call the subconscious part of our body. So your house could be really organized, but when you get to the closets, it's a shit show and it's like a mad mess. Maybe something to look at, because maybe you give the appearance that things are neat and tidy, but underneath all of that, the unconsciousness, or what we have in our hidden closets, is running the show. So it's a great way to look at what you have and what you can remove and release from your life at this time as well. Great time to purge your closets, great time to do space clearing, great time to, those clothes that you are not wearing, that you'll never wear again, even though you think you're going to lose the weight to fit into them. It's time to recycle, RE again. So just pay attention to all that, because there's no mistake. So, when we are purging our inner world, we are creating the space for new things to happen. When we purge and we remove energetically and also physically through demonstration that we just shared, we are allowing ourselves the grace, but also the space to allow something that's more aligned with where we are right now to move in. If you have the tendency to hang on to a lot of your stuff, so if you're closet hoarders or even hoarders, this is something to look at as well, because sometimes the whole hoarding act could be a deeper belief that is keeping you stuck, and it may be something that you are not even aware of, or maybe you are and you've stuffed it, but it's time to look at that and just move forward with it and allow yourself to purge those things. The beauty of creating and manifesting, sometimes people are attached to their things. And oh my God, if I get rid of this, I'm going to need this the next week. Well, if you need it the next week, you go and create a new one, and it'll be more energetically aligned with where the new version of yourself is than the old version. Remember, everything is energy, and everything that we've created for ourselves is an energetic demonstration of where we've been. And what we're finding now is that our beliefs and our unconscious patterning is really up for review right now. And it can be kind of daunting, but when you're on the precipice of making a major shift in your life and you're able to you get to that proverbial wall that I call it, where you feel like you just can't stand one more iota moment of what is going on, to me, that's always a sign that a major shift is going to be occurring for the person. I've witnessed this in working with clients, but I've also witnessed this in myself as well. When you hit that proverbial wall, I know that you're in the midst of having a great breakthrough. So know that we were pushing your limits, and it's an opportunity to punch through that wall to go to the other side. I had a very interesting experience as of late, and we talk about being imprisoned in your own mind. And what was interesting about this, when I was in meditation, I saw this open door. It was like the gateway to and the threshold to the other side. But I was still in that room with my arms shackled together because I somehow didn't believe that I was free enough to remove those shackles on my own accord and to make the conscious choice to walk through that doorway to the other side, which was just an amazing and liberating experience. So this is like an example of when we are stuck and maybe even resistant to possibly changing. These are the things that keep us and prevent us from moving forward to creating what we need. So what I want to do is circle back to this. It's so important to look at the power of our beliefs, because our beliefs will create and recreate our reality based on what they are. Oftentimes, it's the unconscious, the unawareness of something that is deeper seated within us that is still running the show. That is why some of us, you could kind of make something happen and push it, but it's not going to be a lasting manifestation because of what it is based on. Maybe it's a belief that no matter what happens, it's never going to be good enough. So you keep recreating through that filter and that lens. So yes, you may create something, but it's always going to have that tail of not being good enough or adequate enough for you. Just an example. So I just invite people just to take an inventory as to what's kind of going on with them. Look at your home situation. Like I said, look in your closets if you dare to be brave. Because what is hidden in your closets of your mind may be the key to allowing you to create from a magical place once you allow yourself to review your beliefs and see which ones are outdated and no longer aligned with who you are. You don't want to be creating from those old filters. We look at what is happening in our world these days. There's a lot of what we call dichotomy. The black and white, good and bad, love and fear. And how often have we manifested things in our lives from either desperation or fear And it wasn't from a base of love and appreciation and gratitude. Something to look at as well, especially where we are now in our ascension process and humanity's evolution here on planet Earth. So I invite you to look at your beliefs. Do you feel like you're not good enough? Or, you're never going to get what you're going to want? Or every time you manifest something, you keep asking and asking, and the proverbial one is like you never get what you want? I could relate to that. I know what that's like because I've lived through that filter for a very long time, and now things are different for me. When you're able to go to the deep recesses of who you are, and with the self-compassion and the loving kindness that you would give to a stranger, that you give that to yourself, you're able to look at aspects of yourself just as they are and just allow what's to come forth. If it's an emotional thing and it brings up all this sadness, or you're going to feel like you're crying and you cannot stop, I invite you to take a step into whatever you're experiencing, because this is where you're going to be able to shift this. Our natural tendency is to push something painful away because we just don't even want to go there, because we have this fear that if we open the lid of Pandora's box, it'll never shut again and we will just be so out of control. Newsflash, that's an illusion. The key to your happiness and to your ability to manifest magically is to take a step into those things that we think that we cannot handle. You will be able to handle them. It's about allowing that energetic emotion to be experienced. We have been in a society where we have never been allowed to feel, or we've been told that it's a sign of weakness to be vulnerable and to feel your emotions. That is an illusion as well. And we've been told this in order for us to be controlled. And we don't want to be doing that anymore. Part of being a human being is about being able to experience all the aspects of who you are, inclusive of your emotions. Did you know that in order to experience your emotions, you actually have to have a physical body? So it's a huge blessing to witness your physical body, because this is where you're able to step into your reality, your emotions, and have that experience. This is going to enrich your soul at the most deepest level. Yes, it's not for the weak of heart, and maybe it might not look pretty, and it's a necessary step. When you're able to experience whatever the emotion is with all its regalia and all its opportunity that it presents to you, it's going to be the most liberating experience you will ever have for yourself. And it will be like going through a rebirth. And wouldn't that be amazing? You could just start from ground zero, the way that you actually came into this world as a pure energetic being, without all those layers of beliefs and patterns that have interfered with our ability and our innate wisdom to allow us to create what is already there for us. So I know this was a little heavy to talk about this, but I feel it was a necessity. And so we're getting ready to go on our break, and you're listening to the Dr. Dolores Show. I'm Dr. Dolores Fazzino, nurse practitioner, medical intuitive, and energy whisperer, and we're talking about mind over matter, manifesting magic today. And when we return, we'll talk more about that in a little more detail. So stay tuned.
Do you trust your instincts? Many of us don't. Yet this is the key to connecting to your innate healer within and your intuition. Tune in to the Dr. Dolores Show with nurse practitioner, medical intuitive, and energy whisperer, Dr. Dolores Fazzino, to receive insights and tools to realign with your inner wisdom for lasting health and true wellness. Listen for the Dr. Dolores Show, Wednesdays at 3 p.m. Eastern, 2 p.m. Central, 1 p.m. Mountain, 12 p.m. Pacific on InspiredChoicesNetwork.com.
Ready to break free from complacency? Welcome to I'm Awake, Now What? Your monthly invitation to embrace conscious living. If you've been feeling lost or stagnant, this is your chance to awaken your purpose. Join our transformative conscious wake-up office hours every month for guidance and self-discovery. Experience the power of clarity and focus as you navigate towards holistic healing and empowerment. Don't just survive, thrive. Sign up now and unlock a wealth of benefits, including enhanced well-being, stress reduction, emotional healing, and connection. It's time to ignite the flames of purpose within and start your journey to a fulfilling life.
Are you a subject matter expert? Are you here to share your expertise with an audience waiting to hear from you in only the way you can deliver? Are you ready to have your voice amplified across the airwaves? Inspired Choices Network has a global radio platform streaming to millions of people across the world. Professionally produced and supported by an accomplished team every step of the way, you can broadcast from anywhere in the world, knowing your voice matters, and we ensure it is delivered with ease and efficiency. Eager to hear your message, the world awaits. Contact us today to become an Inspired Choices Network radio host. Email become a host at inspiredchoicesnetwork.com.
This is the Dr. Dolores Show with Dr. Dolores Fazzino, nurse practitioner, medical intuitive, and energy whisperer. To participate in the program, join the live studio audience in our chat room at inspiredchoicesnetwork.com. You can also send an email to Dolores at drdoloresfazzino.com. Now, back to the program.
And welcome back, everybody. You're listening to another episode on the Dr. Dolores Show on Inspired Choices Network. And I'm Dr. Dolores Fazzino, nurse practitioner, medical intuitive, and energy whisperer. And our show today is called Mind Over Matter, Manifesting Magic. And before break, we were talking about the whole importance of beliefs and emotions and how essential they are to manifesting. And oftentimes when we don't heal those unconscious beliefs that are still running the show, it's a filter that we are manifesting through, and we may feel like we're not creating the way that we feel we should be, or our manifestations aren't coming to fruition. We feel like it's half baked in the oven instead of being completely manifested. So what I'd like to talk more about, in this segment is, we talked about the importance of emotions, and yes, they are essential to your foundational beingness as a human being. It actually allows us to have different opportunities. And we talked a little bit about how, many of us have been programmed early on not to feel. And you could tell, a dead giveaway for me is that when people talk about emotions, they say, I think I feel. So, and I'm like, I think I feel? It sounds like you're intellectualizing your emotions instead of actually having an emotional experience. Because when you think you feel, you're actually in your head. When you feel, you are grounded in your physical body in the present moment, right here, right now. You have to be physically present and in the moment to experience your emotions. Yes, sometimes we want to get a bypass and not feel them at all. Or, we want to dip our toe in the pool of emotions and we go, beep. And it's like we're back in our head trying to figure it out and try to figure out how we don't have to feel. It's exhausting. What I am going to tell you is that you will clear up so much real estate in your physical body, in your energy field, when you are able to experience those emotions, especially as you come across them. And you will have more room in your space. You'll become less fatigued, less tired. You will get restful sleep at night because you'll be sleeping well. You will also be able to gain more creativity, but also tap into that innate wisdom that is yours. This is your, I call it your secret sauce, your intuition, your higher self, whatever that is, your chi, your God body, whatever that is that gives us that wisdom that is ours for ourselves and is like our, I want to say, etheric roadmap as to what is next for us if we choose and are brave enough and wise enough to listen to that, because it's all there for us without having to figure anything out. So also with emotions is our nervous system. How many of us have been wickedly stressed out our entire lives? It's like we have been in fight or flight maybe continuously. And what happens is that when you're in continuous fight or flight, your body doesn't reset itself. Your nervous system doesn't regulate itself. Actually, you have a very dysregulated nervous system. And what happens when you are, manifesting from that state of awareness, it is very constrictive, very restraining, and very controlled. So those of us who are perfectionists, or maybe we have thought that we know it all and we have the best way to do A, B, and C to get to X, Y, and Z, well, this could be a game changer for you because number one, nothing is perfect. It's a way of controlling and really restricting possibilities. We are not in control at all. You think you are, but it's really funny because you could always tell when people think they're in control of a situation and the stressor comes on, they just crank that control button up a little more so they become a little more tighter. Your anal sphincter is like constricting and you're just like walking around and you're shallow breathing and you're not really breathing, okay? You are so constricted, you are not taking deep breaths where you could be really in your physical body and just allowing yourself to be with whatever is there and not try to fix it. It's not about fixing something and making it better, especially for those of us who are caretakers and want to make sure that everything is neat and proper in the little box. And I'm laughing here because Christine said, stop talking about me. Well, you know what, Christine, you're not alone. Many of us have that. And when you're able to look at it from a bigger perspective of what is actually going on with you, things can really, just the awareness sometimes is enough to flip the switch where you could choose something different instead of just going on automatic with what you've been programmed to do probably your entire life. I had a very interesting personal experience in the last week or a couple weeks. I had a spontaneous experience where I was being birthed through my mom, and I'm 65 years old. So I had taken on a bunch of patterns early on during that moment as I was being born. Now, just a little background. My mom, I was my mom's first child, and she was in labor with me for over 19 hours, and I got to relive the experience of what it was like to be in that situation. And I just allowed myself to experience whatever was coming up. I was scared. I thought I was going to die. I couldn't breathe. I was constricted. and restricted. I couldn't move. I felt alone. I felt betrayed. I felt isolated. I felt abandoned. And I also felt like, why the hell did I decide to come to be born at this time? It was just, all this stuff came up for me. And when I was born, I could just feel all those patterns that life is really hard. And it's just like, I don't want to be here. And it was everything that was in my life when I look back from that point, looking back, I could see all those beliefs that have manifested throughout my life. I sobbed like a baby because this infant felt so isolated, alone, separate, that I did some inner child work with my infant self, and I just sobbed and sobbed and sobbed with her because it was just horrific. And I just allowed whatever healing to come through that came through. And I feel like this was a huge rebirth for me. So I'm just sharing that because I know what is possible. And this was not even a planned event. This just happened spontaneously for me. I was feeling under sorts, like something was happening, but I just didn't know what it was. And I gave myself the grace and the self-compassion just to sit with what I was feeling and experiencing. And I'm so grateful and appreciative that I did, because now being on the other side of that, I feel like I've been reborn, and I have started from ground zero with who I truly am versus what I was. So my new birthday was 10 days ago. So anyway, what I'm saying is this: it is possible. It's not impossible. Sometimes those opportunities are there for us if you're brave enough to just be with what you're experiencing and just allow yourself to be led with that, with the flow, because you are being taken back possibly to another time and place where the deep-seated root cause of what has been driving your life had been doing your whole entire life. In my case, 65 years. So something to ponder. Your nervous system, okay, we're going to circle back to that. Look at where you are in your life. Are you constantly stressed out? If you are, it's about breathing. The other piece of information too, I've always been a shallow breather. No question why. I was stuck in there for 19 hours and I felt like I was, couldn't breathe or anything. So for me, taking a deep breath was a very big challenge. And now it's a normal state of being. When we're able to take a deep breath without that constriction, you're able to fill up your whole entire vessel, your body. But also, when you fill up that vessel with that rich oxygen, it allows yourself to expand. It allows yourself to tap into areas that we may not be able to see, but are there, into other dimensions as well. So deep breathing is really good to reset your nervous system. When you feel like you're really anxious and really uptight, how are you breathing? Just take 3 deep breaths in, because you're probably constricted and breathing shallowly. And that's not going to help you at all. When you're able to really inhale through your nose and let it go into your body and breathe out, just do that 3 times, it's going to anchor you back into your physical body. So once again, it's time for break. Time to get your coffee, time to contemplate things. And, just so you know, we're talking about Mind Over Matter, Manifesting Magic on the Dr. Dolores Show today. And I'm Dr. Dolores Fazzino, nurse practitioner, medical intuitive, and energy whisperer. And we're on the Inspired Choices Network. And when we return, we're going to go into a meditation that's going to allow you to have an experience of what it's like to be in your body and connecting to that yumminess of your manifestation potential. So stay tuned, and I'll see you on the other side.
Do you trust your instincts? Many of us don't. Yet this is the key to connecting to your innate healer within and your intuition. Tune in to the Dr. Dolores Show with nurse practitioner, medical intuitive, and energy whisperer, Dr. Dolores Fazzino, to receive insights and tools to realign with your inner wisdom for lasting health and true wellness. Listen for the Dr. Dolores Show, Wednesdays at 3 p.m. Eastern, 2 p.m. Central, 1 p.m. Mountain, 12 p.m. Pacific on InspiredChoicesNetwork.com.
Ready to break free from complacency? Welcome to I'm Awake, Now What? Your monthly invitation to embrace conscious living. If you've been feeling lost or stagnant, this is your chance to awaken your purpose. Join our transformative conscious wake-up office hours every month for guidance and self-discovery. Experience the power of clarity and focus as you navigate towards holistic healing and empowerment. Don't just survive, thrive. Sign up now and unlock a wealth of benefits, including enhanced well-being, stress reduction, emotional healing, and connection. It's time to ignite the flames of purpose within and start your journey to a fulfilling life.
How wonderful would it be to carry your favorite Inspired Choices Network host with you throughout your day? Well, now you can. Inspired Choices Network now has its very own mobile app. Our free app offers live streaming shows, along with thousands of podcasts and TV episodes. Our shows cover a wide variety of topics. Whether you're waking up with us, carrying us through the day, and taking us to bed with you, we're always here for you to enjoy. We're easy to find. Just search for Inspired Choices Network in the Apple App Store or Google Play Store.
This is the Dr. Dolores Show with Dr. Dolores Fazzino, nurse practitioner, medical intuitive, and energy whisperer. To participate in the program, join the live studio audience in our chat room at InspiredChoicesNetwork.com. You can also send an email to Dolores at drdoloresfazzino.com. Now, back to the program.
Well, welcome back, everybody. You're listening to the Dr. Dolores Show on Inspired Choices Network, and we're talking about mind over matter, manifesting magic. And, before I go into what we're going to be talking about next, I'm just going to make a short commercial break here, because for many people who are awaking into their spiritual journey, or they have realized that life on the external is no longer working for them, and they want something more out of their lives, where they need to go within and really start to cultivate and to have a relationship with themselves and explore their spirituality and their connectedness to themselves so that they could live life on their terms. We have a program for you. It's called I'm Awake, Now What? For those people who are waking up to their true reality and their true essence of who they are. It's a monthly membership community that offers, tools, resources, healing, community, and also it is about a monthly Zoom call, and you're going to have access to all the resources that are available. And it's going to be we're going to relaunch it in November of this fall in 2024. So look for more information on that. And we're really excited to give support give support for people who are ready to take the next steps for themselves. The experience will be more like coming together and just gaining some wisdom and some insight as to what is next for you, especially when you don't have a reference point as to what direction to go. It's more about learning how to trust your intuition, but also establishing a relationship with yourself, and also creating community of other like-minded people so you don't feel like you're alone. So go to my website. It's Dr. Dolores Fazzino. and you're going to see a link to go to I'm Awake Now What, and I'll have more information for you. So would love to have you and love to support you on your journey. So now with that in mind, we've been talking about manifesting and mindful manifestation, doing it intentionally so that you're able to create from a place of completeness versus fragmented, half-baked manifestations. I love that, half-baked. Well, anyway, so I'm going to turn on some music for you too, because I feel that we need some music today as we do this meditation. So I love the gongs and the singing bowls. So we're going to just use this in the background. So right now, I just invite you to find a comfortable position. You could either sit down or lie down and just close your eyes gently and just take a few deep breaths in through your nose and maybe out through your mouth. Take another one through your nose and out through your mouth, and just allowing your breath to fill your body up one more time, and slowly blow out and exhale through your mouth, and just allow your body to relax. Just allow your arms and shoulders to soften, and just feel your back supported on this chair or the ground that you're lying on, and just feel your feet upon the earth. There's really nothing to do. It's just about allowing you to take breaths in and breaths out. And if something pops into your mind, just allow it to move through you with grace and ease. So I invite you to imagine yourself standing in a serene, sunlit meadow. The air is warm and gentle as it caresses your skin, and the sky is clear and a beautiful, vibrant blue. You're barefoot and you could feel the soft grass beneath your feet and the warmth of the sun on your skin. As you inhale, imagine yourself drawing in the energy of the universe, a golden light that fills your body and mind. And as you exhale, release any tension or negativity, allowing it to float away on a gentle breeze. Visualize a powerful, radiant light within your heart. This is your inner power waiting to be activated. Imagine this light growing brighter and stronger and expanding to fill your entire being. Feel the warmth and energy of this light radiating outward into the world around you. Now focus on a specific desire or goal that you would want to manifest. See it clearly in your mind's eye, as if it has already happened. Feel the joy, excitement, and gratitude that accompanies this realization. Believe that your desire is already a reality and that your inner power is guiding you towards it. Imagine yourself planting a seed of your desire in the rich soil of the meadow. Water the seed with your positive thoughts, emotions, and beliefs, knowing that it's already true and manifested. Watch as the seed begins to grow, nourished by your inner power and the energy of the universe. Take a few moments to bask in the peaceful energy you have created. Know that your mind is a powerful tool capable of manifesting your dreams. And just allow yourself to be embraced by this beautiful blanket that is around you. Incubating your creations and allowing them to grow and manifest. As you open your eyes and come back to this place and time, feel the warmth of this blanket that is wrapped around you and carrying the feeling of peace, empowerment, and possibility with you throughout your day. So welcome back, everybody. What was that like for you? Just make a mental note, or you could actually write that in the comments. When we're able to create from a space of calmness, from meditation, we are intentionally setting an intention, and we're in the moment, and we're not creating from a place of maybe disbelief or lack or fear, but we're creating from a place of love, abundance, and peace. I also just want to share this one thing. I always love pulling cards. I have tons of Oracle decks in my office, and this one is from I'm going to say the Ascended Oracle from Nari Anastasia. And the card that I pulled today for our show was Conscious Creator. So you are actually becoming more of a conscious creator than you ever know when you're able to move forward from this place. So we're going to get ready for our next break. And when we come back, we're going to wrap things up. And you are listening to the Dr. Dolores Show. I'm Dr. Dolores Fazzino, nurse practitioner, medical intuitive, and energy whisperer, and we're on the Inspired Choices Network. And we've been talking about mind over matter and manifesting magic. So stay tuned when we come back, and we'll wrap it up and talk about next week's show. Take care.
Do you trust your instincts? Many of us don't. Yet this is the key to connecting to your innate healer within and your intuition. Tune in to the Dr. Dolores Show with nurse practitioner, medical intuitive, and energy whisperer, Dr. Dolores Fazzino, to receive insights and tools to realign with your inner wisdom for lasting health and true wellness. Listen for the Dr. Dolores Show, Wednesdays at 3 p.m. Eastern, 2 p.m. Central, 1 p.m. Mountain, 12 p.m. Pacific on InspiredChoicesNetwork.com.
Ready to break free from complacency? Welcome to I'm Awake, Now What? Your monthly invitation to embrace conscious living. If you've been feeling lost or stagnant, this is your chance to awaken your purpose. Join our transformative conscious wake-up office hours every month for guidance and self-discovery. Experience the power of clarity and focus as you navigate towards holistic healing and empowerment. Don't just survive, thrive. Sign up now and unlock a wealth of benefits, including enhanced well-being, stress reduction, emotional healing, and connection. It's time to ignite the flames of purpose within and start your journey to a fulfilling life.
This is the Dr. Dolores Show with Dr. Dolores Fazzino, nurse practitioner, medical intuitive, and energy whisperer. To participate in the program, join the live studio audience in our chat room at InspiredChoicesNetwork.com. You can also send an email to Dolores at drdoloresfazzino.com. Now, back to the program.
Well, welcome back, everybody. We're on the Dr. Dolores Show on Inspired Choices Network, and we've been talking about mind over matter, manifesting magic today on our episode. And, I just want to recap everything. We just had a beautiful meditation that allowed people to have an actual experience. And I love doing meditations on my show because we talk about concepts and theories and ideas. And sometimes when we don't have an experience to drive that home, it kind of gets lost in the realms. But when we have an experience like a meditation, you're able to dial in what we talked about so you actually have an experience. And that makes everything more delicious, I think. So you had the meditation, you got to create something in your mind intentionally. And what we've been talking about today, I'm just going to highlight the facts. The power of belief. The power of belief is so important because you create from that filter. And oftentimes when we are not creating what we are desiring, sometimes that filter is in the way and we're creating through that filter. So it's about learning about and exploring what our beliefs are about things, and maybe doing some deep work to uncover and heal and transmute, transcend, and transform those beliefs so you're able to get in better alignment. Remember, there's a body, mind, and soul connection, and inclusive of that is the nervous system. So just know that when we are in stress mode, we're actually in fear mode. And you do not want to be creating from a fear mode. You want to be creating from a love and peaceful mode. Very important. The role of intention is huge. What we focus on, we create in our intention, either consciously or unconscious. So just be aware, having that awareness. The importance of emotions, we talked about that as well. It's so important to feel your emotions, because we have been led to believe that it's not okay to experience those emotions, especially, God forbid, the ones that we label badly, like anger, rage, and, sadness, or we have a natural tendency to push that away, where our essence wants us to embrace that and dissipate that energy that's there so we could become more complete and whole within ourselves. Nervous system we talked about, the power of visualization is huge. That we did in the meditation, which I think is really important. And it's also important about taking action. We could set an intention, and just taking action doesn't mean trying to make it happen. It's allowing ourselves the wisdom to hear that voice within ourselves for our next steps for that particular intention, okay, that manifestation. Because you could try to make something happen and you're like spinning your wheels and getting exhausted, getting stressed out, and it's you're not creating, you're actually controlling. And there's a difference between controlling and creating. That's a good topic for another show on the Dr. Dolores Show. We'll have to look into that. And the role of mindfulness and meditation. So the more that you could quiet your mind and be in a real de-stress type of state, the better off you're going to be as far as creating and manifesting magically. So what I want you to remember is this. Be patient. Manifestation takes time. Trust the process. Remain positive. Work on yourself. Be persistent. Do not give up on your dreams. It may take a long time for something to manifest because there's a lot of things happening behind the scenes that need to get aligned in order for that to manifest. Please do not give up. Keep believing and taking inspired action. Be grateful. Gratitude can attract more positive experiences into your life. And if you're a doubting Thomas or you're a skeptic about that, I invite you to play with that. Just be grateful for 3 things every day, and just continue to do that as an exercise. And I'm sure you'll become a believer of that. Be kind. Treat other people, but most importantly, treat yourself with kindness. We are always judging and criticizing. This is like human nature, and we do this to ourselves a lot. We need to change that patterning. So be kind and compassionate to yourself. This, and even if you don't know how to do this, just focus on the word self-compassion, and it's going to be a game changer for you as well. And just be open. When we are constrictive and restrictive, we close ourselves off, and we don't allow the openness that's there, because in the openness is where all the possibilities are and the opportunities. So just remember, just to keep yourself open, and may your journey of manifestation be filled with joy, peace, and fulfillment. So I'm going to leave you with this quote, and then we're going to talk about next week's episode. The mind is a powerful tool, and it can create miracles or destroy them. It's up to you to choose how to use it. So choose wisely. So next week on the Dr. Dolores Show, we're going to be talking about boundaries and self-care. Thrive again. I've talked about boundaries and self-care over the, probably a year or so that I've been on the network. And I think it's essential that we get a review and just get the up-to-date tickers as to why boundaries and self-care are so essential, especially in these days and the times that we're going through. And I'm just going to read from the description for the show. Feeling like you're constantly on someone else's schedule? Do you ever say yes when you really want to say no? If you're feeling burnt out and depleted, this episode of the Dr. Dolores Show is for you. So stay tuned next week. We go live on Inspired Choices Network at 12 noon Pacific Standard Time, and would love for you to show up and really, learn more about boundaries and see how you show up in your world. And, sometimes it's the awareness. When we make those changes, we're going to have an amazing life. So see you next week. Remember, you are worth it. Take care.
Thank you for listening to the Dr. Dolores Show. Dr. Dolores returns Wednesdays at 3 p.m. Eastern, 2 p.m. Central, 1 p.m. Mountain, 12 p.m. Pacific on InspiredChoicesNetwork.com. Until then, remember to be kind to yourself and create your best life. You are worth it.